Hello and welcome to my channel, and welcome to my day as a masterful tinkerer in the collaboration for Let's Go Steampunk. I chose the Gothic. There's pastel and Gothic, and these kits are on sale till 1 week after the collaboration ends for 30% off. So if you want to join in, there's so many tinkerers and join in the fun. This is going to be way out of my comfort zone. And so when I was asked, I grabbed the opportunity to join in because I like to get out of my comfort zone. And I'm a lace and pink and all that kind of thing kind of gal. But I'm going Gothic today. I'm so excited. So this here, I just wanted to know or let you know that all of the information will be in the description of this video. I'll have the link tree up, which will give you exactly who is participating and on what day, and the information to where you can grab the kit will be in there. Everything I can put in there, I'm going to put in there for you. So my day, of course, is today. And I'm teamed up with Angela's Crafty Space. So make sure you go over and see her today too. And, well, just go visit everybody. And it's very important to leave a comment, a like, even subscribe to the channels, because many like mine are very small channels. So we really do appreciate each one of our subscribers, and I answer each one of my comments. The comments, I love you guys. I really do. So if you like what I do, just kind of have a peek around my channel, and if you like, subscribe. I would so appreciate that. But anyways, let's get to the matters at hand. So I created this little tag and made it into a belly band. Now this I just grabbed from there's a page of bookmarks, and so that's what I did, because I really wanted her, because I thought she fit in there just really nicely. And all I did was I took and I put them all in here. There's 4 bookmarks, and I put them all together, and I just did it with a brad, and I just put this little key on here because, well, she's got something dangling from her head like so. So that's what I did there. And I will show you now how I did this one. This one put me, again, out of my comfort zone, and I had to put not only out of my comfort zone, but I also had to put on my thinking cap because I had to create a corset. So what I did was I have my stuff here that I am going to use. So my little bit of lace, and this is seam binding that I found, and I cut it in half, and then it went fray, fray, fray. So then I had to take my lighter and go all the way along there and seal it up, but it works just fine. You can use ribbon, you can use string, whatever you so desire. This is what I decided to use because it's the only thing I found that I have in black. And I also printed off the tags, and I used this tag and this one in the first one, so I'm not going to use those tags this time. I'm going to use these 2. I'm going to match them up because this looks like something she should be coming out of. So that, and then I printed off this sheet. Oh, isn't it gorgeous? I love this sheet. And I used some, and this is all you need for what I'm going to do. So there's our supplies, and of course glue and whatever else you like. So what I did was I took and I made myself a little template, and I struggled with that for a little bit, but it came along okay. If you want to make your girl a little more curvy, then you can go ahead and cut this in a little further, but I wanted more stability on the tag, so that's the way I made it. So let's go ahead and get into this. And with creating this, I just took a piece of paper, folded it in half, and I cut I drew out how I wanted, then cut it out. That's all I did. So make yourself a little template or do it freehand. So this square here is what I'm going to use, and I believe if we take and fold it in half, and we don't mind it being a stiff fold in half because it's going to get cut apart anyways. And then we are going to take our template here, and I extended this here because I wanted it to wrap in the in between the layers, so that it gives it some stability here too. So I'm just going to take and let's put the line. Let's put our right down to here, and that's all I'm doing. And I have some lead there, and then I'm just going to take. Oop, doesn't matter. And these you can extend them all the way out if you want, because that doesn't matter. You're not going to see it, and it just adds more to the base. And we'll go like so. I've never made a corset before. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in my dots here and mark these, because this is where we'll punch some holes. Did I do them all? Did I miss one? No. I did not miss one. Did I? I did. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Yes, I did. Oh, boy. There we go. There we go. We got it. Good thing I caught that. Okay, so then we're just going to cut this out. And we're just going to follow our lines that we drew. And like so. That. I tend to get a really messy desk because I keep everything. I start out with a nice space, and then I end up with a little space to work in. So I'm trying to keep a mental note to keep clearing my space. Okay. Then I'm going to get rid of that because we don't need that anymore. I'm going to grab my handy dandy tool. If you don't have one of these, you can take a pokey thing of whatever and poke it through. I'm just going to, that's my smallest hole there. I'm just going to punch my, and you, oops, paper there. You can try to line them up as best you can. It's not really too finicky because you're going to not see much of the hole anyways once you get your thread, your tie in there. Okay, one more. Our paper stuck there. There we go. And like so. Okay, let me get rid of that thing now. I'm just gonna shoo these guys off onto the floor. And there we go. Now what I did when I did it was I did this first. Oh, you know what, we should ink. You can ink or not ink, but we're going Gothic, so dark is better. There we go. I don't know how much of this I'm going to cut off. If you're anything like me, sometimes I don't cut a straight line, even though it's right there in front of me. There. Okay. Then we're going to just take and place this. Oh, is that a pencil mark? Did I do that? I did that. Well, let's put this one. Let me erase that. Thought it was a hair. There. Get rid of that. Okay. Then I'm just going to place this where I think the middle is and whereabouts I want it. And I'm going to put it right about there. And I'm going to flip this over. Remember those paper dolls when we were kids? You dressed them and you put the little tags on there? That's what that reminds me of. You flip the little, you put the dress on the doll and then you flip the tags over. Or did I just date myself? Yes, I'm old. I'm old. All right. There we go. So now we know where those are going to be. Now we could just take and glue these in just like this, which why not? Why not? Because it worked for me last time. Maybe it'll work for me this time too. Glue our tabs in there. Right in there. Give our glue a second to get in there. There we go. All right. We're just about, we could glue this on, but we'll wait just in case. So now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up here. An avalanche of stuff here. And you don't have to cut this. You could leave it together. I don't know. I just did. So what I'm going to do is I have 2 needles here. One is pokey and one is not. And I am going to thread the one end. If I can pick up the needle, there we go. Thread the one end. Yeah, you are. Okay, let's try this again. Why don't you want to go in there? Because you're trying to do it on, while you're filming, that's why. I just want to go in there. Okay, so I am going to go through here. And then I'm going to go through this one. Like so. Straighten out my ribbon. I want it to be straight. It'll get crooked later, but we can start out straight. Okay, like that. And then I want to take my other needle, this one, and thread here. And I found that this was the quickest way for me to do this. And I'm just going to make sure that I am fairly even in my ribbon ends here. I'm coming way up to you, pokey pokey. Let's go this way. Okay. And these will get twisted. You can try. I tried on the other one. It took a while to get them untwisted, or to keep them that way. So now we're just going to start doing our X's. And I found that this way, using 2 needles, was way better than trying to thread it through without a needle. Go into this one. Don't want to pull it really, really tight because you want a little bit of the, I see I have quite the twist in there. I'm not going to worry about it. It twists, it twists. So now you want to go down to the next hole, just like you're lacing a shoe. You don't have to put as many holes as I did in there. You can put as many holes as you like. And like I said, if you want your corset a little more in, maybe you want less, just design it how you like it. Keep them up there. And I have more than I need, but it's better to have more and not need it than less and need it. Oh, what did I do here? There we go. I'm really glad I don't have to wear one of these. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the freedom they must have felt when these things came off at the end of the day? We're coming down to the end here. And then this one here. Okay, now we get rid of our needles. Okay, and I'm just going to play with it a little bit. Get your ribbons or whatever you've used, lace, whatever, get it to how you like it. A little less, a little more poofy. Won't play with it too long. There we go. Close enough. And then we're just going to tie a bow. Okay. I can see I don't look. There. And I think we're just going to leave a nice size bow. And maybe take it off about like so. I don't want to make them even. Let's do this one a little longer. There we go. Like that. That's while we're here. Let's glue these together. You could, at this point, you could glue them together and make it a pocket here if you wanted, by just gluing it around like this and make a pocket here. I'm not going to. I'm just going to glue it on completely. But you could do that. That'd be pretty cool too. I love this kit So I am going to make a small journal with it. And my thoughts are that I am going to follow along with everybody and make what I can. And then by the end of the collaboration, I will have a full journal. And then at the end of the collaboration, I'll do a flip through. This here too. Phone's beeping. Down there, good. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to use this one here just to round these corners. There we go. And then we'll just take and do a punch here. I'll use the larger one. So, and let's grab one of these guys, like that one, and then I need a little washer. Where are my washers? I don't want to. Oh, look, I have one of those. Okay, I was looking for one of those last time. I could not find it. I always make sure to put those little washers in there. They just finish it off, but it also adds that extra strength to them. There we go. There we go. Now we can get rid of that. And let's do a little bit of inking around here before we finish up. So please be sure to check out all the videos. And thank you very much to Cheryl's for inviting me along on this ride and taking me out of my comfort zone. And for creating such a beautiful kit. I love the colors in it, I really do. Okay, let's put this glue. Oh no, we're not done yet. No, nay. So this is just one of the pieces that I cut off, and I'm going to hopefully string that through here. Let's see, we're going to do a little trimming. Come on now. Okay. I always have issues, and I want to put both through. If I put one through, it'd probably work better, wouldn't it? But I don't want to. I want to do it this way. So, all right, I like tweezers. I'm left-handed. I'm going to use my tweezers. Put my left hand to work. There we go. How about that work? I'm very right-handed. My left hand is just there. Helps out every once in a while. Okay, and you know what? I think this time I'm going to leave those. I'm going to leave them dangle. Now we got to put this in here. And what I did last time was I just took and I cut it in half. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right. I want to get rid of my... Okay, there we go. We're going to cut it right there because I don't want to... It doesn't have to be perfect. You're probably not going to see it anyways. And so then I just took this here. And this one is, it does have a front and a back, but it's really hard to determine which it is. So I'm going to put this right along here. Bring it through like this. Oops, get back in there. It'll take a few minutes for that to dry. But I want it to look, I want that peak there to look like it is there. You know what I mean? And like so. There we go. So I wanted it to look like it had that, you know. There we go. Yeah, oh, look how cute that is. I'm just going to trim these edges a little bit. I'm not going to trim the tassel part. I'm just trimming this little bit of lace. I'm okay with that tassel part hanging over. There, okay. And then if we get our little lady back here, and we just put her in there, and look how adorable that is. I love that. I think it really turned out nicely. Now, if you wanted to put something smaller in there, if you didn't want it to be like a belly band, just in case it's going to do that, you could take and just glue the bottom here. Put this down a little lower if you wanted, and then don't put something so tall in there. Many different options, but that is how I made a corset. You can see that the way that I did this one, I ran it through singly and then tied the top. I don't like that as much as I like this one. You could instead of putting the charm here, you could put one on there. That'd be nice too. All right, well, that's it for me for today. Make sure you go and check everybody's video out. Check out Angela's Crafty Space today. I am going to go and see if she's got her video up, because I'm curious. She's very creative, and I would love to see what she does. And then let's see, what else do I need to tell you? Make sure that you post in the group, and I'll leave the link to the group there too. And you want to make sure that you use the hashtag Let's Go Steampunk. And that's about it, I believe. Get your posts in so that you get those chance for those prizes. They're going to be amazing. All right. Thank you for joining me. Have yourselves an awesome day.